Good morning, folks. It's 4:49 a.m. on the 10th day, 3rd month, 2023. I'm looking at a very nasty line of storms that have been chem-bombed up, headed toward Taroom. They're packing a wallop, packing a lot of lightning, possibility of tornadic-type activity associated with high electrical systems like this one here is a high electrical system, is likely. Bit of a hook trail here on this one here, and this one here has been tendriling back and forth as it went over a massive chem that was underneath it. I know I've been watching the deployments. Yeah, you got to use chem to determine the corridors of excitement, if you will, or where the atmosphere has been excited. The weather move is going to require, to move this storm down here, is going to require a few radars to kick on up here as they start to create a flow that splits all that traffic from here to here, and then it's going to create a flow that's going to get that in there without it coming through. So I'll be watching for those EMF moves over the next 36 hours. And until then, most of your storms have been plumed into existence with chem bombs themselves over here along this roadway. Again, the roadway. Clone Curry, like you needed another belting of a big line of storms coming your way, which is already tendriling and acting towards itself, because you get a lot of electrical reaction. If this was ferrous material, like that black putty you play with the kids do, and it seeks itself up, well, that's kind of what goes on with ferrous materials in the sky, except it's not thick like that you can see and wrap all around you and suffocate you, but it can react in much the same ways, sadly. But the chemical soup up here, or the medium of the atmosphere, the medium is what's in the water, or the fluid, that changes its viscosity and its properties of how it disperses and so many other things, depending on the chemicals added. And sometimes an oil slick in your sky could very well be that, if they was using certain fuels that leave that behind, like coal ash. You often hear Mike Morales refer to as bunker fuel. He's very correct about that. Look at it right over the creeks. It's like it's a target to get everything to continually run toward long reach, because they need some drying out bad. It's nice not to see a huge line along there, but as I'm watching this corridor of all this electrical energy and all this potential and all these masses, there's a lot of rain in here headed towards Bribey Island here in that corridor. I thought was going to be the cutoff. I'd be very surprised if the Brisbane Center got hit big hard until I see this. You see that square forming of roundness? How do you describe a square circulation without sounding like don't make sense? Square and round together. Square peg, round hole. Gotta shave them edges. And so as these bump each other, that's going to turn into a cell. All the looks of it in the past have shown me this. And right here is where she's fueling up, because the energy of that diving down there, hitting that there, is going to cause a spin. So we'll be watching this here. You're going to be vigilant here, as this will most likely head streaming toward the Gold Coast. See, the radars down here are not showing too much on. I've got one radar array pointing down this direction into the trough, which should create a wind going both directions toward Warwick and this, and that's probably why that's fueling up there. See the radar beam coming down from this direction here. It's on the low deck too. It's one of those purple fuzzers, a fuzzy, purpley, bitty, balmy, old, timey-wimey for it to end kind of cloud. The aroma in the air is bad. So where I was looking at that first sky lashes that I saw there, the old Sanchez in the sky, was right around here in this area here. So I'm going to roll this through, let you have a little bit of a look. I ain't never going to let you go unwarned. Look at all the bombs headed across the coast. Grafton. Look at the fryer on the low deck, the glitch, the square glitch at the beginning. I'll freeze it right here. See that there on the low deck? That's all this in here. That'll be Grafton, creating a scalar square of energy. And it doesn't necessarily have to always center straight up from the radar station. It usually goes outward. And that's evidence of a glitch not being a glitch. So let's see if the National Loopy over here is showing that craziness. So we'll go over to become graphinated here. Now you're getting your, oh yeah, she's frying, look. So that's direct evidence that that is not a glitch. The glitch is creating a cloud mass. See it? Right here. I'm going to turn off some of this. Remember to look in here, okay? The nose of Byron down there. Okay. I'm going to turn off the gritty cities. Move that over a little bit. We're right over here. Right, so watch. See again? Now you see him? Grafton. The square right here is what they say is a glitch. And I say, if it's creating a cloud, it's weather modification. It's geoengineering. It's not cloud seeding. It's part of geoengineering, is insertion of energy into the atmosphere. When this chem hits it, look at it react. From these little comets, the center of something streaming off like a comet, an icy ball of some kind of something, right? Which we all deserve an honest answer to what is inside. And then it reacts over the energy, creating the thermals. Another bomb was let off right here, right? Look, these are chem bombs influencing your weather. Right in time for the energy. Well, whammo. I did a double jump there. All right, don't touch that one. Another flower and a full skylash set off there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe curved in a line there. That would have gone first. See, it's wider. This dispersion is not quite as much. So something came along and released something in the sky. Geoengineering your weather to come into contact with the wicked glitch of guilty Grafton. And that's been her nickname for years. That's guilty Grafton, and she's guilty of a lot of weather modification, and I've called it that for a very long time. Welcome to your wicked glitch. It's not a glitch, BOM. Stop lying and start teaching real atmospheric science. Not the bullshit excuses I see that your robotic repliers that auto-answer people on your newspaper sites do. Boy, is that funny to not participate in. Yeah, boom, there, as we go up the coast towards this big square here, with the square underneath. There's a glitch going on. We've got a glitch going on. The bitch is glitching, man. And the glitch is back. And I'm proving that it's not a glitch. It is a planned usage of weather modificators. And I'm not saying there's a switch on and off, and most likely it's a backdoor into the computer chip that makes things do things. That's all I have to say. There's nobody aiming the radar disc. Oh, I've been over there now. Look at that cloud. I've never seen a switch that says chemtrail on and off. And most of the deployments you see these days are being done with high atmospheric balloons or military. Yeah, they probably don't know it either. You'd say, oh, we're going to go over here and have a practice run at war. And we need flares and all that kind of stuff. That's how I see it. So you got that square in the top deck. You got a square in the low deck. All over here. Oh, geoengineering. 5 o'clock in the morning. Here comes 5 o'clock Charlie. Are we running? Forrest says, yes, we are running. So get Grafton is beaming. Right? That's an obvious. That's very obvious. So we want to see who's doing this square up here. Is it Dorigo? Are you blasting? That's mighty circular there. There's a little bit of tickles going on. Nothing too obvious on the short feed. Let's go in a little closer. See if there's anything I could see. And nothing definitive. We have to use those words. Nothing definitive. What's this curve here? Bzz, frying. Bzz. Yeah, a bit of a tickler there. You're going to have a quake out this way. But that's not unusual. I had a 3-point something over there. They got a lot of blasting going on. Blaster bastards. They had a big square out here. Who's guilty of that? Mount Gambier or is it Selleck's Hill? It'd be hard to choose. Choose you. It's really. I'm just having a quick look about. The geoengineer's coming for your ass. The image is loading. It's taking too fucking long. I'm impatient. Here. Beam coming in swath here. See it? It's clearing out clouds on that one. Point right at it. It's square form down the low deck. Always thinks it's squares. We'll square it out. See what they're showing on the Doppler. Well, that's a hell of a hook there, huh? Look at the vortex they've got going on there that runs into that wall. Whammo, and has to go around it. So you're gonna have some issues around there. Oh yeah, that's right where that big storm line's coming. Yeah, they have a lot. Yeah, that's gonna get bad. Where that point where it hems and starts to turn when it releases it. Whammo. At that pressure drop, it's going to get interesting. That's going to hem the chem, and then when she lets out that corridor there, that's going to get interesting. All right, let's go back and look. Taruma. We're up here. So yes, your wicked glitch ain't dead, and she's fueling up a fryer of a storm over here. So the moisture's coming into the station, compressing the chem and going around it, and gets released through here. So when it comes out around, it should flare up over through here. A wind should occur. That's probably this gap. This is going to get bad. Absolutely is. And the funnel of energization seems to be this direction here. Towards, and it'll spread out toward sort of the gained and under Hanna-Barbera. And yeah, the Hanna-Barbera's guys with all the characters that goes with it. The Anthill Mob. Dastardly and Muttley. We get the Bastardlies and, well, Muttley's cool. I don't talk bad about Muttley. I can't make the laugh though. It hurts my throat. Hee 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 hee. Best I'll do today. And Taruma boomba boom boom plumba and all over your ass. Just every time one of those explosions happens, it shocks the top of the cloud deck and can force the condensates together until they're larger to drop, or ice itself, until it makes a great big sharded ass ball of ice and comes down and destroys your greenhouse. Isn't that wonderful? We can control greenhouse gases by destroying the greenhouse that gives off oxygen into the world. Isn't that counterintuitive? Or ignorance in motion, you pick. It's ignorance in motion, causing environmental disharmonies. They're poisoning your oceans. The felons are running all around me. They're blinding you with psyops. Doop, doop, doop. They're blinding you with global warming psyops. Doo, 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 doo. Doop, doop, doop. Boom, 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 booms, boom, 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 plumes, boom, 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 doop, 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 psyops, doop, 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 psyops. Climate change is a lie. Man is polluting the environment. The corporations that want control of your land are actually doing this. Today I'd like to show you the couch group. Scopex. Well, I don't want to, but I'm gonna. Scopex. Couch. Harvard. Look at, again, this university has it in for your asses. This university, the Harvard Crimson, the blood, is obviously got a plan to kill people. Some of the people in that university have very bad aims. And here again, the couch group, it is well funded by Bill Gates. This is your geoengineering, stratospheric controlled perturbation experiment. Scope X. In other words, they're coming for your ass. Great big balloons with gondolas and platforms with things on them that can be independently moved. They can put emitters on these, a VMF, big thing, hang underneath it. Let's go Brandon kind of thing with the hooks on them. Like you guys are saying, are spy balloons. Well, you can have a lot of stuff there. Not just cameras. And you believe they have a camera because this originated with a program called, I'm going to give you another one, Project Loon. And again, look who you come up with. Project Loon is these big balloons. What's that in the sky, Robert? What's this look like, Robert? What's that? What's that look like to you? What's this look like to you? It looks to me like a Scopex geoengineering balloon that went across the United States repeatedly, leaving plumes. I was watching them. Everybody was all China, 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 China. And all I seen was your ass getting duped and psyoped. Blinded by the psyops. So there's a link to the Project Loony stuff. And don't forget to link it everything. Does it look familiar? As you go through this, a parent company. It's all funded by Gates. This is, absolutely is. Commercial viability is proven much longer riskier than hoped. Well, how risky did you hope it to be? Like, not risky at all is what I hope. And this is Project Loon. I'm going to try to find out. Now, let me see if I can get the Harvard link on this. Because, yes, this doctor is a graduate. Huge balloon dropping chalk for the sky. As soon as they dropped the chalk, they made aluminum hydroxide in the sky. Bicarb. That's what they said. Conversations with the murderer. That's what I call him. Look at the size of this thing. It takes a freaking crane to put it up. It takes a crane. Does that look familiar to you? Scopex is what you've been seeing going across the United States, I believe. Look familiar to you, any of this stuff? Going over the top? This was supposed to be used to bring 5G to the world in remote areas, by the way. But again, Keith, I was watching this for years. Project Loon. So I digress. So I'm going to go into this a little bit more for you. It just talks about alternative materials to use, including diamonds in the sky. You won't be breathing that? How's that good for your lungs? Yeah, see what I'm saying? Complex stuff. They have found that calcium carbonate. As soon as you added calcium carbonate to the atmosphere, you could make aluminum hydroxide. That makes milky sky, milky water, and it releases heat, and it releases hydrogen. And I pick up the plumes. That's right, there's ways to see this. So I'm not in a full agreement that everything that's being sprayed all leading to one thing. And aluminum hydroxide is very, very possible. And any chemists out there will have to agree with me once they look into what I'm saying. Aluminum, barium, strontium are in your sky. You got sunlight, you got sulfuric acid precursors, and titanium dioxide. You add a bicarb to that for the aluminum, the acid, and the sky light. You're going to get aluminum hydroxide, and you can mix it in a beaker in front of you. It's a very common science experiment done in high school. Calcium carbonate does not exist naturally in the stratosphere. All right, it shouldn't be up there, but we're going to put it there anyhow. Actual reactivity is not known. In other words, which means that laboratory and outdoor studies are needed. Outdoor studies. In other words, human experimentation, animal experimentation, and experimentation on the old planet. Because Couch Harvard Group probably owns a lot of companies that will supply these materials, I think. Is it dangerous? It poses no significant hazard to people or the environment. Not on its own. And maybe some people are actually allergic to that. And they want it in their bodies. And they said they would do less than 2 kilos. If you sprinkle 2 kilos of cocaine in this guy, how would that go? You shouldn't do that. We'll go using a homie sock filled with flour. No, bap, homie, don't play that on people's head. They might have a gluten allergy because the system ruined their gut. With fucking pesticides. The free carbon dioxide enrichment face experiments. We'll have that. That's homework for later. And whatever the hell that is, I need to look into. It doesn't look nice. We have released sulfur hexafluoride. Oh, they put some fluoride in the sky. Fluoride in the skies. They ain't disguising this from my eyes, and this is in this document. Let's see if we can find that again. Where did it say it? It was the guilt. I'll have to take it down a bit. Take it down. Fluoride in your side. Can you fucking believe that shit? Well, I highlighted it a moment ago and she went away. Biological diversities. It's just horrendous how they could even discuss doing something as horrendous as take away the sunshine from plants. You get mad if somebody stands in front of the sun when you're getting a tan outside. How does the tree feel? When we stood in front of its sun and it needs to breathe. All donations, it'll all be done. Donations are philanthropic. In other words, the private geoengineering research program. Right here, Harvard University research program and funding. You have it dive into the rabbit hole. But it's not a rabbit hole if it's searching for the truth. You would hunt around for the best bargain in town. It's not a conspiracy to look for the best, save the most money. And it's not a conspiracy to make a correlation between the looks of some things in this guy and some of the shit we see going on. And it has signed a new deal to use these balloons. It used it. It signed a deal. Well, you know what they're saying is, bust the deal, break, face the fucking wheel. And the wheel of life's going to come around and kick the people in the ass that decided this was a good idea. Nah, man, this is not on. It's not on. Not on. Look at this big thing. We'll build it in here so nobody sees. Well, they have to have it cleared. We have cleared the tower. Houston, make the problem. Fucking bastards. Well, this one was the other thing. Did I give you a link for it? Geoengineering funding, yeah. Aspen Face program. Here you go. You guys got homework to do, and so do I. But I can see straight away the field of antennas in this picture. Straight away, I see atmospheric perturbers right here. Aspen Face. Look at these fields of antennas hiding behind the trees. Innocent looking trees. There's nothing going on here. Fucking antennas. All good fields of them. That's a bzz base. Bzz, getting fried in Aspen. I don't think John Denver would be singing about that too much in Aspen. As Starwood and Aspen would be getting fried in asses. Aspen, there's some dimension to the distribution species within the ring. This is an oddness. I'm very curious what they're doing here, actually. Are they just testing certain trees? I'm very curious what's going on here. This is just odd looking to me. Forest ecosystem experiments. It does look nefarious, but as I'm reading it, it looks like they're testing trees. Treatments for discontent. Was I trying to see how they handle the stuff? By increasing. So they had to change the atmosphere over this area to do this experiment. So they're testing the forest themselves, how they're handling the crap. That's what it looks like here. So I want to look into this more before I draw of any more wild conclusions. Because there's all these papers and stuff about pollution. So even they're calling it pollution. So again, Harvard. Yeah. I can never say if a rock from space could fall somewhere. It's high on my list. They did it in Arizona. Oh, they're going to still doing it? They're supposed to have stopped this program. Oh, we can track the balloons on radar box. Here's a new site. Let's have a play, eh? Hey, looks like we get some new toys. One is just put my eyeballs on some things. Then I'll get back to your video. Well, I'm doing your video. What was that I just came up with? Alright, we'll shut you down. Never. Tracking balloons. Yeah, I'll show you. Fucking spy on me. I don't give a shit. You're not available at the moment. Yeah, it's one of as where Sam Smith goes at night to drain his pants and fills that up with gases. He must be using it for something. That's not small. That's in New Zealand. The launch that took place in New Zealand in 2013. This is a blog. Tracking the balloons. Yeah, I was doing that too, for all across. But I was actually looking at satellite images as well and showing the plumes that went behind them. And they weren't supposed to be leaving. It was just supposed to be an experiment that involved radars in using 5G transmitters to blast your asses as it went over. Weather modification with Elon Musk's satellite Starlink. Now go. Bzzzt, string of pearls blasting across the planet continuously in a pattern. We'll have a gap here and not a gap there. Bzzzt, 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 bzzzt. Death knell from the planet plays. Boom, 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 plume, 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 boom, boom, to room. Boom, 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 plumes. Boom, 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 plumes in your room. And now for what they say the fuck is gonna go on. Oh, he swore. Yep. The continual targeting of the east-west road is underway. It has not stopped and is continuing along heavily and heartily. And it's not going to stop for a little while as they move that tendril down south and aim it toward Maroochydore. And so you'll have to close your doors in Maroochydore. Oh, they're going to have to turn the radar on to get this move. Yeah, so the Charleville corridor is going to get a beam, right, to split the flow. And boy, is it going to fly across your country. Then whammo, spreads into the south, spreads to the north, and the entire east-west road gets its inundations for the weekend. For the weekend, they're in love with the bonbons and the chem in the skies, and they're looking at your ass and things died. Nothing left but a fucking centipede, and they're crawling all over giving Z's. I mean, really. Look what they're doing. Making toxic seas. I could ride with the weekend, man. And the weekend is that dude has some demon shit in his fucking videos. My God. Talking about smacking women on tables and stuff. What the hell is wrong with that man? He owes the world 150,000 songs about how to treat women with respect. And you too, Eminem. Get in line on that one. As we continue along, making up our own song. I don't care, I don't want no be famous singing songs that make me happy. Not when weather's crappy. Let's see what we got going on down here. Ah, yeah, we got a Dirty Sanchez going by. Sanchez skies for you and I. Do 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 boom 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 plume plume. Boom 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 plume plume boom 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 boom. Really, you just won't say fuck you to this kind of stuff, huh? Say fuck you daily, do-do-do-do. I point at the sky, my middle finger extends its way. Boom, 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 boom. What's in that fucking shit they sprayed? Boom, 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 boom. I want an answer to this each day. Boom, 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 boom. What's in this toxic shit they sprayed? Boom, 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 boom. Bzz, 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 bzz. Fraying your asses, ain't they? Absolutely fraying. Let's just put it into motion. The combination of it all, the tendrils of the angel of death streaming towards the Adelaide area, towards the coast of Seduna, while the boiler's burning down here, bringing all the chem over to the top of the trees, having the waveforms peaking and troughing, things settling down low, rising up top, thermaling it up. Boosting you over here, great big square rolling out the waveform here. That's not a gravity wave. This gravity of the situation is wave after wave of toxic bullshit. And it looks like a piece of toast coming out of the toaster. And it's done. Burnt fucking toast for the West Coast. And Land O'Kane's general circulation is still way up here, but all its action's been split. They got to cut that. And that can come across after that. Two separate units of storm have been created by EMF, electromagnetic frequency outflow. Just using your radars. The wicked glitch ain't dead. She's evidence on the low deck. Yup. And that's what's going to happen for those days. And I'm very, very concerned because that's coming New Zealand's way. Right. New Zealand, I'm going to get to you now. Time to get to you. This is where most of the action is going to occur for you, is you're getting the dregs from Australia. Here it comes, the nightmare from another fucking country street. Right on the tip of the island. Gotta swell the streams a bit. Oh, the stream. And the island's held that after. That's going to be a strange EMF move. So they're predicting a big beam, actually. So we'll have a big beam occur right around there. I'd say about 10 o'clock my time on Tuesday. See, that'll put it at about 10 o'clock at night, Tuesday the 14th for you. Tuesday the 14th. 2 days the 14th. Burnt pine over here will burn the pipe, and it'll be glitching. It'll have to come on to split the storm. So they'll put a hard beam on here and a half moon here. Poof. Shove that son of a bitch right on over. You don't want to see the totals. And then the timing of the meeting of the two of these masses of moisture of what's about to flood the fuck out of the main island of Vanuatu, and I'll get to them too. And I'm going to issue a dire warning for them in this part of the, me showing you what the fuck is going on. When this comes by, it's going to hit a wall of EMF here. It's going to flatten it. It has to. Pressures that day are very important. Right, you got a block here. This is going to flow towards that. Actually, at a 25 tick, it's going to hit. It's going to rush in pretty good. Flows around this one here is going like that. It's going like that. She's going to try to ride the outside edge. But the bubble up in the tropic will prevent it. Yeah, you're going to get smacked. Should flatten out though. Cruise about that path here through to 14. While its moisture is being stripped from this one in this direction. Which takes that and shoves it into it. The cold from this here to that's going to react and make quite a storm. Yeah, it has to. It has to collapse onto a line because this here ain't budging that quick. I don't see how. Unless, of course, geoengineers pulse it. Your totals are looking high. And not everybody's agreeing with this pass, and I'm not. I'm just watching the pressures of these highs. They're very important. So I'm going to give you some of your totals coming for your 10s. You got to see your 10 totals. That's a lie. It's about correct. It's going to be higher through here than they're saying. Now you'll be up 6 to 10 through there. There's no way you're not. Up here is getting clobbered. And so get your warnings out to your Vanuatu people. They're fairly imminent to start raining that I've seen. So they have some time to prepare if they have anything left from the last time their islands got scoured. They've got some problems coming as this tendril moves down. And if it comes to this part here, it usually means it's crossing to this side. Or through this passage. This passage often does a weird turn. And when combined with moisture here, that often comes this way. So I'm watching. In a long time since you had one come from here. It's odd to me. But while this thing is coming out to sea, you're in their sights right now, and your accumulations are still very, very high. Very, very, very high along the entire coastal corridor, from tip to stern, all the way. So the sucky season is upon you, and the aroma of a new road is in line. Yeah, the storm takes a curve as the road did. The road goes down towards that way, and the storm does as well. Just follow that son of a bitch. Just target the road. You can't tell me geoengineering isn't being used to grab the land of Australia this year. If not, you don't look at the statistics. And you dang sure don't open your eyes and realize that you're being lied about your sky. And that they're duping you about things like balloons. And who's doing things to you? Harvard University, Philanthropy, Marble Fund, Kasperian Foundation, the usual suspects, Reflective Earth Foundation, Fritzker Innovative Funding. You have to look into everybody here, all the names. And there's the favorite one of them all right on the list. Right there. There he is. Again, funding something that I'm saying is killing life on this planet. It's burning your skies. He is an abomination upon this planet. And justice is not good enough. Atonement. They'll give you tweezers to stick you out here in the Australian desert, and you pick up every piece of chem that you drop with a tweezers, motherfucker. No sunscreen. I mean, really, dragging behind his own plumes. How you feeling, you lying sack? Ooh, the entities and demons that have the money on this planet that are killing the humane beings. He's fucked. Very fucked. With that said, you guys better stay safe in this line of storms that I showed you. Stay very vigilant over here in this corridor. because the camera cameras are out. I showed you the pass. And sometimes when you go somewhere, there ain't no coming back. Big love. Peace.